Hi everyone, so I want to talk about feminist pedagogy for ESL, EFL classrooms today. First of all, what is feminist pedagogy? I'm going to read a citation from Fisher, 1981. Feminist pedagogy is a perspective on teaching which is anti-sexist and anti-hierarchical, and which stresses women's experiences, both the suffering our oppression has caused and the strengths we have developed to resist it. In ESL or EFL context, using feminist pedagogy means three things. It means that we're focusing on raising consciousness of our students, awareness among our students, consciousness of gender-related topics. And there's also an element of social activism, and there's also an element of empowerment. So those three things are the important aspects of feminist pedagogy. You can consider them as the basic tenets of feminist pedagogy if you'd like. Now, when you are incorporating feminist pedagogy in the classroom, what you're doing is you're co-constructing knowledge together with your learners. So it's not a hierarchical learning system, which means that we are always working towards breaking down the power imbalances that teachers and students' binary roles have in classrooms. We're always trying to break down these power imbalances. We're collaborating, we're co-learning together, we're learning together. And one of the ways we do it is by focusing on having discussions and having workshops in our classes, which is perfect actually for English language classrooms, because we want to give our students a lot of opportunities to practice using the language. Another thing that feminist teachers who incorporate feminist pedagogy in their classroom do is we respect each student's voice, each student's lived experience. Everybody is an expert in their lives, and we don't discount people's voices. And we try to incorporate equity, like dismantle bias in our classroom. May it be the language that we use, may it be the reading materials, may it be the discussions that we have in our classes. We're always working towards dismantling biases in our classroom, and we can't always get it right, and that is why feminist pedagogy focuses on learning together with the learners. The teachers don't need to take this position of I know everything. The teachers take the position of let's discover together, let's learn together, and let's share experiences, our experiences in a community-based learning style. We also, as teachers who incorporate feminist pedagogy, would create equal opportunities for learning in our classrooms as well. So how do you do that? How do you actually do that in practice? So for example, in my classes, every semester we do 4 extensive reading books, extensive reading. And for my second year students, we pick books which are focuses on gender-related topics. So one of the books that we picked last year was We Should All Be Feminists by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. The second book that we picked was Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. So these are the 2 books that have been my students' favorite. They discuss about them, they enjoy reading them, they like talking about them. I try to pick authors from my students' context so they can do more research, they can learn a lot from the authors' interviews, for example, and something that will allow them to relate to the characters, to the social constructs which are described in the books as well. So that's part of the extensive reading element. So the students are having these having an opportunity, I give the students an opportunity to talk about these issues, talk about these the books and their opinions about it if, in the extensive reading component part of the course. When it comes to writing fluency, for example, I pick questions which allow or raise consciousness, awareness of my students to consider if gender has ever been played a role in their decisions to study a particular course, do a particular type of job, or the gender roles that they've observed in their family, in their communities. So we give prompts. So I give prompts, which gives them a lot of opportunities to explore their experiences. But those are mostly related to gender because it's a feminist pedagogy classroom. So those are the two components of my class. We have reading, we have extensive reading, we have writing fluency. And when it comes to essays, we also explore individual essays, individual topics that will allow our students to explore their individuality, their identities. So one of the first essays I ask my students to write is a narrative essay about a challenge that they have overcome. And people usually do come up with some really creative and interesting aspects of their lives. Everybody wants to talk about themselves. So there are a lot of interesting and very diverse, just a whole lot of rich topics that my students write about themselves. And I'm so grateful to be able to read them, actually. Oh God. It's a reflection on my other monitor and I thought it was a ghost. Oh, all right. So yes. So when it comes to essays, topics which allow our students to explore their individual identities, individual experiences, and also, of course, topics which instigate or which initiate our students into thinking about research in certain topics. For example, the gender pay gap or the decline of birth rates, the decline of the population in Japan, for example. So those are the kind of topics that we focus on. And every week we pick a news article that will allow them to have this discussion about various issues related to gender topics in the class as well. So those are some of the ways that you can incorporate feminist pedagogy in your classroom without sacrificing the linguistic and language goals that you have set up for your students. So I hope that really does answer a brief question regarding feminist pedagogy. If you have any more questions, you can leave some comments under the video and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. So thank you so much, and if you found this video interesting, do give it a thumbs up for me. Thank you so much.